All right, good evening, volleyball fans, and welcome to the first event here for Channel 2 on the court of the Rex Haugen Court at the Leaders Gymnasium here in Pelican Rapids. Channel 2 is back in business. We had our first event Friday night where the boys football team hosted the Holly Nuggets. Now, the girls volleyball team here is going to be hosting the Rothsay Tigers. I'm Logan Knorr here with a couple student directors, Ebe Sarich and Jaden Peterson, getting this thing underway. And the Vikings are going to get the first serve here. As we're taking a look at the cameras, it's going to be Malia Tweeton who's going to get the honors. Just a sophomore, I believe. These kids get so old so fast, it's hard to remember. Yes, sophomore. And we'll get the full lineups as soon as we can, but looks like a middle hitter here for Rothsay to keep an eye out for is Savannah Sullivan, number 0, right in the middle here. Was looking for her height on the program, but she's got to be all of about 6 feet tall. Looks like very athletic bunch in yellow right now for Rothsay. Ariana Hovland for the Vikings, number 0. That's number 4. She's trying to get things going on the offensive end for the Vikings, but that is long and wide, so Rothsay, first couple points here, doing the serving now is going to be Destiny Eckley. Her serve goes wide right. Nice read by Mirren Thomas of the Pelican Rapids Vikings to let that one go. And so the junior for the Vikings secures the first points for the team in orange. So Vikings serving right to left here, orange to yellow. Whole lot of fall colors in the air. Kirkwood's serve might have been out of bounds, but Rothsay saved it anyway, and then miscommunications with the setting and hitting there ended in a point for Pelican Rapids. So the scores are evened now at 2 apiece. Serves up here. Nice little touch shot there from number 9, Bethany Danielson, but Vikings are able to snuff it out. Nice dig by Kirkwood in the middle. Allie Berger now tries to smack one home, no good, or when I say no good, I should say dug out by the Tigers. And the volley continues here. Kirkwood, Korf in her orange jersey this year. Interestingly so, gets a point for Pelican Rapids with that dig and continuation. I believe it's going to be Ariana Hovland who's going to get credit here for that kill. But Morgan Korf in years past here for Pelican Rapids, she is a senior now, usually the libero, so would have seen her in maybe a black jersey or an off-color jersey, but now she is in all orange. So there are no liberos here for the Vikings on this right side. The left side does have number 2, that is Lydia Umlauf, doing libero work for the Tigers. Kirkwood serving for the Vikings now. Over here, dug out momentarily. Now it is Sullivan in the middle. Gets it over to the Vikings. Hovland tries to attack. It's blocked up front, I believe. Oh, but it's out of bounds. Excuse me. It was blocked up front by Sullivan, but her rejection was batted to the right, out of bounds here on the near side. So Vikings get that point. Vikings now have some momentum. 6 unanswered points now, but that's going to be changed by, wow, what an attack there from number 6, Destiny Eckley. Really strong attack. We were wondering if it was out of bounds or not, and Ellie Kress, the line judge here on the near right corner, was all over it. It was just long, but it was tipped by the Vikings. So that tip call is going to make the Tigers here. I don't know why, for some reason I want to say Trojans. It's Barnesville, Rothsay. I mean, it's kind of all in the same area, right? That's I-94 corridor, flattish part of the world. One has a prairie chicken and one does not. Let's make that clear right now. Eckley, no, excuse me, that is number 9, Danielson. Tried to get it to go, but it was blocked by the Vikings, recovered by the Tigers. Here comes Hovland, tipped at the line, but nice adjustment there by Sullivan to keep things going for the team in yellow. Now off net again. Back and forth it goes. I feel like this ball has hit the net 4 times in this volley alone. Danielson Now Bella Schustrom with her first try to kill, and it's blocked up front and recovered, and here we go again. Berger, middle hit. And they call the point. It hit the ground, and there's disappointment from the I shouldn't have said anything about Barnesville. From the Rothsay fan section, as they believe that ball did not hit the ground. They believe there was someone got a hand underneath that ball. They wanted that rally to continue. And that's going to go long. So a much shorter volley this time ends in the hands of Pelican Rapids. 8-4, Vikings with a little bit of a lead here. Now serving is going to be Lauren Reber. Now over to Korf, left side. She shows off the vert there. Right-handed hit. Sends the Tigers flying all over the place. Almost into the hallway. Right over by the Hall of Fame sign to the left here. And so nice attack there from Morgan Korf. Unable to be handled well by the Tigers. Oh, nice little second hit. Cheeky little set play there. That's the setter, number 7. Might I add, Vanessa Sullivan. And she does a nice job. But the Vikings are somehow able to recover even after it hits the rafters. And now in the middle there, the attack was from Grace Carlsrud of Rothsay. And that point will land in no man's land for Pelican Rapids. They get another point, doubling up the Tigers in this first game, 10-5. If you're just joining us, this is the first game. I know how volleyball can have weird timing. Did they start 30 minutes ago? Did they just get underway? Yes, they did just get underway here. Oh, nice hustle there from Carly Hovland to save it, keep the rally alive after Morgan Korf's attack got swatted up front. Another powerful attack there. That is from Danielson one more time. Danielson's had a couple high-velocity hits here up at the net, and that one ends up turns into a kill, and she'll get the serving duties now. And making an ace for Danielson. As we try, I try to decipher what the ace celebration is for that group in yellow. I don't know, they just kind of skipped in a circle and stepped out. I wasn't a step back basketball play? I don't know. I don't think it was a step back. We'll see if Rothsay can get another kill or another ace here. We can find out what their celebration is. This time, Hovland able to handle the serve from Danielson, and now it's Ari Hovland who gets it over. Carly Hovland and Ari Hovland, not sisters, working together here on the team for the Vikings. And there's a attack up front, and Morgan Korf kind of laughing about that one. She tried to go after it up at the top of the net, lost the jousting match, and one more time Danielson serves. So Rothsay, a few points in a row here. And finally able to stop the bleeding. Unforced error there. Danielson hits it into the net. Vikings will take it. They needed to stop that run the Tigers were on somehow, some way. Mirren Thomas served on that. Rothsay, after a short volley, had too strong of an attack there. Launch angle too high. Physics problem failed. Mirren Thomas with another serve. Trying to hit it off the second serve, that would have been very difficult. Vanessa Sullivan, she was in a tough spot, right? That the ball on the dig got a little bit too tight to the net, so she did what she thought was best, tried to attack from there. Did not pan out, and Pelican once again with a few points in a row now. Back and forth they go. Kirkwood just decides to get it over. Sullivan in the middle here, setting it to Carlsrud. Yes. Point for Rothsay there, 13-9. Carlsrud credited with the kill. Carlsrud will serve. Morgan Korf now on the right side. Yeah, nice find. She places that right there on the three-point line in the wing area, just 2 feet from the sideline of that volleyball. So, of course, I had to bring up basketball when referring to Morgan Korf and her play. She is now, as I mentioned, as a senior, going to be one of those players to watch as we get closer to winter. But she really does enjoy playing volleyball. Talking to her, it's just a really good sport. Almost, it's really good to see in Pelican Rapids. I think a lot of students do try and stay fully engaged in multiple sports, multiple activities, and really the culture is that no coaches really expect one sport or the other to be prioritized. So it's good to see her out playing and sharing her talents with all of the activities here at Pelican Rapids. Carly Hovland, nice dig to Kirkwood. Now Malia Tweeten, that is deflected up front. Rothsay sticks with it. Danielson from the 10-foot line. Oh, deflection, but diving in is Korf. And now Tweeten, I believe it was, got it over. Rally continues. Rothsay with the upper hand so far. Tweeten in the middle, blocked up front by Sullivan. Now Korf decides to go higher, tries to get away from Savannah Sullivan. Now this time it's going to be Eckley. And after it's all said and done, just too much sauce there from Pelican Rapids on their attack out of bounds. It's going to go the way of Rothsay. This serve is going to be brought to you by the setter, Vanessa Sullivan. And that is just out. Oh, what a serve, what a look there. Really made the Vikings think about it. Last second, they let it go, and it does go just a foot long. So nice read by Pelican Rapids. Gets them a point. Really close first game here. 14-13. If you're just joining us, we're in game 1. Malia Tweeten, the sophomore, sends it over. Really a lot of new faces for these Vikings coming off of a couple seniors graduating, and we'll get more into that later. I need to remind myself of the research as that's going to go out of bounds. Maybe between the games we'll talk about the seniors that graduated and talk about some featured players that have made the pamphlet today, the program, as being a featured player. Oh, nice hit Sullivan over the middle, just like she did in the very beginning, rising up over the middle and attacking at a steep, steep angle. A timeout is called here. 16-14. Vikings have a 2-point lead. Looks like there is a substitution here. Right out of the timeout. Ariana Hovland back in. Hayden Haugrud out. And Eckley serving now. Rothsay down 2, trying to keep the momentum up. Vikings called that timeout maybe to reset things, and Morgan Korf originally dove in, saved that, but the whistle was blown for I believe, a net violation up front, not related to the ball hitting the ground. So that gets any confusion out of the way. And that attack by Allie Berger, Berger, unable to connect. So we have a tie volleyball game here, 16-16, first one. Eckley to Mirren Thomas. Now it's Korf flying in. Sullivan. Tweeden long. No, Malia Tweeden's attack here from the back quarter of the court. Could not dial in the distance. It goes 5 feet long. We're getting dangerously close here, as Rothsay feels like they have a lot of momentum in this first game. That's a little bit of an attack there from Lauren Reber. Now Berger on the left side, blocked up front by Reber and Savannah Sullivan. And another timeout's going to be called here by the coaching staff of Pelican Rapids, Heidi Eisenman and company. Just so we know the coaches here, looks like Pelican Rapids, once again, coached by Heidi Eisman, but we might add that she is assisted by Marie Heiberg and Amanda Bells. On the other end, the Rothsay Tigers are coached by Tanya Court, and she's assisted by Callie Berry and Heather Reber. And there's a few other, looks like they have quite a few assistants, so nice list here. Madison Lee, John Reber, and Bree Ophoven. So nice coaching staff for Rothsay, and really with the limited roster that they have put on quite a good fight. Really talented group here. And they have six on the court. I think there's only 4 others dressed here, so there's 10 on their varsity roster. Certainly hanging tall here with the Vikings and really threatening to win. They've had a lot more athleticism on the front line and doing a great job so far. Tweeten, Kirkwood, and despite the best efforts here, Kirkwood dives into the bench to try and save that in the second hit, and it goes nowhere for the Vikings. Trying to find some kind of life here. Korf sets up Kirkwood Hovland in the middle. And yes, nicely done, Ariana Hovland in the middle there for the Vikings. Just what the doctor ordered for the team in orange, trying to get themselves back into this first game. Cameron Kirkwood, now to Ari Hovland. Ari Hovland presses it back to the far right side. Second volley. Kirkwood all over it, but her little dig was in no man's land. That's one of the problems when your setter has to take the dig. There's kind of a who's going to take it now. And for the Vikings, it was nobody. Now Kirkwood ranges over. Bella Schustrom finds a nice spot. Well done, Bella Schustrom. Giving the Vikings a serve once again. Hovland runs in, jumps, serves, puts the Tigers back on their heels a little bit. Now Kirkwood, her dig is over. Berger, nice save, but now Hovland cannot get it. A lot of chaos there. The Vikings trying to play pinball with it, could not get it back over. And so the race to 25 is getting closer. 21-18, Rothsay, and that serve goes long. So make it 21-19. Vikings with the opportunity here. Carly Hovland's going to come back in the game, and she will serve for Pelican Rapids. She comes in for Allie Berger. Hovland serve. Serviceable. Block up front. Malia Tweeten. Savannah Sullivan tried to put the boom on the Vikings, and that's the first healthy rejection by the Vikings today, and that pepped a little step here for this team in orange. High fives in the circle. We'll see what Danielson can do on the right side. She rebuttals on this right side with a strong right hand. Now Kirkwood. Korf trying to answer Danielson and Sullivan. They've been strong on the offense for the Tigers. This time Danielson's attack goes into the net, so she gives a point back to the Vikings. And another sub will happen here. Mirren Thomas is going to get to serve for Bella Schustrom. Over here, Eckley, and a little bit of a knuckleball there on Hovland. Hovland tried to do a two-handed dig, or would you call it a set or whatever, your first hit with two hands, and it just dipped on her too much, got under her thumbs. And critical time here for these teams, 23-21, Rothsay with an advantage, race to 25 in this first game. Kirkwood to the right, Tweeten on the run. Might have gone long, but it was saved anyway by the Tigers. Wasn't sure if it was deflected up front, but that either way was a nice, strong attack from Tweeten, inducing a point for the Vikings. Now Korf going to try and keep things rolling for Pelican Rapids. To the right, and it's out, wide left. That was a very sharp-angled attack back to the left side for the Tigers, and that's going to make Tanya Court call a timeout as we are tied at 23-23. Volleyball is one of the coolest sports in that it's first to a point. So now it's just a game to two. It's ridiculously intense here for these next couple of points, and we're really excited for it here. And it's just been fun to watch the story of the game so far. Pelican Rapids, a lot of depth, a lot of youth, people kind of learning the game. Looking at the seniors on this squad this year is Morgan Korf, Allie Berger, and that's it. There's only two seniors, Morgan Korf and Allie Berger. Everybody else is juniors, sophomores on this varsity squad. So a lot of depth in the way that there's really not this established group of six. And they're working against, when I look at a Rothsay group of very experienced, a lot of seniors here, Savannah Sullivan, Grace Carlsrud, Lauren Reber, Hadley Marcourt, Bethany Danielson, Izzy Larson, Callie Leininger. So there's a lot of seniors for this Rothsay squad that are very athletic. Rothsay has the upper hand in experience and athleticism. Can Pelican defend their home court? They are able to get a little unforced error from Rothsay there, and that's huge because if Pelican can lock in this point here, win by 2, 25-23, they could fill the bill. Danielson trying to set up Sullivan on the right side. That's a go-to girl. Yes, nicely done there from Sullivan, keeping things alive for the Tigers, and now back and forth we go. It's 24-24. Strong attack. Mirren Thomas digs it out. Now Korf tries to press, and it is long. And nice find by Charla Setter, the back line judge. Correctly, she was about a foot long there. It was very close, but regardless, it's still going to be even ball game here. 25-25 this time. And Allie Berger is going to sub back in. Ari Hovland. Deflection at the net and nice bounce for the Vikings. It might have just went straight into the net, to be frank. Very nice, fortunate bounce for Pelican Rapids. And a timeout is going to be called by Tanya Court. Wants to use her last one. You can't take them into the next game, so use it or lose it. Court's going to draw up some kind of an offense and some kind of a resolve for this team in yellow. A lot of excitement buzzing around the gym today. You can kind of tell it is the first home game here of the school year. It was the first day of school today. Many of these staff and students out of shape. I know I can speak for myself. I am out of shape to be doing this whole 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. type of schedule. But we'll get there. We got to do something to get ourselves back in shape, and it is to be here all day, watch some volleyball, call a game. Tweeting for game one. Sullivan a little bit high and doesn't matter. Deflection because of a miscommunication. Looks like Thomas and Korf going for the same ball. Thomas feels guilty. Korf, the leader she is, says it's okay, it's okay. We'll get the next point. It's even once again, 26 all. Eccles going to serve. Korf feeds Kirkwood, feeding Hovland this time. Rothsay's able to handle it, and stepping into that one there was Reber. It was too strong, too high. Out of bounds one more time. Vikings have another opportunity to shut the door on this game. Kirkwood, high arcing serve, deep into Rothsay territory. Danielson into the net. Point and game. Pelican Rapids are going to get the first one here. So they are now leading 1-0. Someone needs to get in the comment section and remind me of what the scoring setup is. Do you call it a match? Like, it's like 1-0 and a 5 game match, or is it a set, 1-0? So someone get ChatGPT on the line and we'll figure it out up here. Jaden Peterson, Ebe Sarich, my two producers for the Channel 2 production here at Pelican Rapids. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be back for the start of the second game. All right, we're back in the mix here in Pelican Rapids, and we did some research. We figured it out to all these people, and I might have been calling a volleyball game or two for the last few years, but we figured we figure that it's a set, right? So Pelican Rapids won the first set here. If you're just joining us for the second set of this 5-set match, we'll see what happens. And it looks like they're looking for the ball. Okay, there it is. Jeez. I don't know what happened. Somebody stole the ball. Maybe Dave Rund over there ran over, grabbed the ball, and tried to steal it away or swap it for a basketball. Who knows? All I know is that it's Eckley from left to right now. Rothsay gets the first serve after Pelican narrowly won the first set of points. Danielson far on the left side. What a play by Hovland. Wow. That's worth a couple rumbles in the stands as the oohs and ahs as Berger saved it barely, and Hovland had no clue. She was just like, I'm going to stick my hand out, and really athletic play, quick twitch there by Ari Hovland, getting a point for the Vikings, setting them up for success. They now have 2 points to start this one, 2-0. Kirkwood. Over here, Sullivan, and it is Savannah Sullivan who goes a little bit softer with this one, maybe of a location type of play, and got the job done. She does have the capability to go high velo, but decided to go more of a placement play, and she got the point, got the kill for Rothsay. Now Hovland's going to run into one here, but it's handled there nicely by number 7, Vanessa Sullivan. And this time Ari Hovland will get it to go. Might have deflected off a hand of Rothsay, but landed on the floor after that. Right back in the scoring column is Pelican, 3-1, Vikings advantage. That serve goes wide, so Rothsay is going to get the serve back. And it looks like Izzy Larson, the senior, is going to get a serve here. One of her first times here on the court. And give her her first point. Vikings unable to get that back over. So nicely done, Larson. We'll see how long she can keep this streak going here for the Tigers. Second serve. Nice little area. No man's land. Korf has to dive in. Berger, nice velocity on that hit. But Rothsay's able to handle it. Now Kirkwood, Berger once again in the middle. She fans on it a little bit there, and it goes into the net. Rothsay now with an advantage in the second set, 4-3. And Larson, she tried to go for the soft play there. Thought it was going to hit off the net and roll over. Instead, falls backwards. Danielson put I don't know what she just did. She just put like a slingshot into that one. That was crazy. She wound up like you were playing a video game. You ever play like Mario, like a Super Smash Bros, or like a baseball, and you like wind up for the pitch or something? I don't know what just happened. Oh, wow, what a bounce by Vikings here as it caroms off of the basketball backboard. Just what the Vikings needed. And Korf able to still keep it alive. I am glad that this random event was able to get me off a rambling talk about Danielson's strong kill. So Vikings were totally dead in the water. Ball was flying to the hallway, bounced off of the elevated backboard up there, bounced back, and allowed them to, and that's what the coach is having a conversation about. She's frustrated because she thinks there's no way the Vikings could have gotten to that ball if it had not bounced off of the backboard. Well, the rules usually are in these types of facilities, if it hits any of the upper workings on your own side and stays on your side, then you just play it as it bounces. But if it goes across the net and bounces, then it would be out. So, for example, if you were maybe had a really strong dig and it hit off the rafters and went over the net in the other team's territory, that would be not your point. But if you're in your volley on your side and it hits off the rafters or hits off the backboard or something, you just play it as it goes. Bounce around, you get 3 hits at it, see what happens. And so despite the confusion or the unlucky break for Rothsay, they seem unfazed. They're still taking a lead here into this second set. Not before a little bit of a misfire on that serve, a little long from Grace Karlsrud. So point for Pelican. Morgan Korf serving over. Korf digs that out off the miss after the misdirection, or you could say redirection. Bounced around. Larson gets it over for Rothsay. Now it's Hovland trying to press it to the far right side. Now it's Sullivan in the middle. She once again goes for the location play. Kirkwood up to Tweeten. Tweeten, nice spot for her, back left side. Sullivan again, blocked up front by Tweeten. And yes, point Pelican Rapids. And maybe it wasn't a block. Maybe it just hit the top of the net and fell backwards is what I'm assuming. Based on the reactions, there wasn't a ton of emphatic celebration from Pelican, so maybe it just hit off the net. 7-7 we go. Even match these teams are. This one was going into the Rothsay Tigers bench and all kinds of laughs and screams as they were like, yeah, you can go for this volley, but don't run me over in the process. So still some smiles over there from the girl sitting down on the bench over there. Let's see, it's number 5, Lauren Reber, number 4, Grace Karlsrud, number 8, Hadley Marquardt, and it looked like number 13, Callie Leininger, enjoying a couple laughs here in this one. Start things off after the timeout. Korf served. Rothsay battled back. Vikings could not get it to go after a couple of mishits. That gives the Vikings had a 2-point lead, and now they only have a 1-point lead, and serving was going to be Sullivan. Also into the game for the first time, looks like 13, Callie Leininger. Daughter of Aaron Leininger of Aaron's Automotive. That's a nice spot up by Grove Lake for any of your car repair needs. I don't think he needs any advertising as busy as he is, but the first advertisement is always free. That's what they say here at Channel 2. Next one will cost him. But anyway, Malia Tweeten serving here in the back to the back row of the Tigers. Sullivan. Nice attack there, back right corner, right in front of Ellie. Oh, excuse me, it's Charlotte Setter. I was thinking Ellie Crest, Charlotte Setter, but they changed sides. I didn't know line judges did that. Okay, interesting. Hovland, nice across her body, back in front. She gets the point for the Vikings. That was extremely athletic, like a Derek Jeter, flying to her right, across her body, back to the left with velo. Point Vikings, 11-9, 2-point lead. If anyone knows who Derek Jeter is, well done. That's glad you're a multi-sport enthusiast. Sullivan to now it's Danielson. She's going to just press it back, and Tweeten and Korf both going for the same ball there. Danielson. Now Korf. Korf in the back line, presses it to the front line of Rothsay. Hovland, left side, deflected by the Tigers, but they stay with it. Here now it's Eckley. Oh, it bounced off the net. Good bounce for Rothsay, and Malia Tweeten unable to save it. It was a great adjustment by Hovland to keep it going, and I thought maybe they would be able to keep that alive, but unable to do so as the Vikings, Tigers in yellow, keep moving. 11-11 our score. Once again, Vikings cannot handle that solid serve from Savannah Sullivan, so they are going to substitute here. Hayden Haugerud comes in. Korf gives it to Kirkwood, setting up Hovland, diving forward. Nice adjustment by the Tigers to keep it alive. It was sent over by the other Sullivan, that is Vanessa. But the Vikings are going to come away with the point regardless, evening things up once again at 12 apiece. Hovland drives it back. Libero Lydia Umlauf saves it, keeps it moving for the Tigers. Now it's Korf who's running underneath, and just not going to happen. She tried to save it, but she impeded under the net there. And that will be point for Rothsay. Larson serving for the Tigers. Korf setting up Berger on the right side. No, long from her. Rothsay once again, a little run behind the serving duties of Larson. Twelve to 12 once again. Korf, Kirkwood. Danielson now. High arcing opportunity for the Vikings. It's going to be Kirkwood who hits it over. Now Berger going to set it to Schustrom. She'll just press it in the back middle. Rothsay in position. Yes, Danielson dropped the hammer. Deflected. And out. Last touch Vikings. Might be a 4-point run here now for the Tigers. 15-12. Out of that timeout. Not looking good for Pelican, meaning great timeout taken by Rothsay. And as I speak, and that's the first one that goes away of the Vikings in a while. As a couple substitutions come in, Carly Hovland in, Malia Tweeten in, Allie Berger out, Hayden Haugerud out. Hovland, the junior, in a team full of juniors. Kirkwood sends it over. And a little bit of a tough spot here as Tweeten hit it first, and Kirkwood had to readjust, and Hovland didn't have enough airtime to get underneath it. And it all culminates into a point for Rothsay. Danielson, powerful serve, back on Hovland. Carly Hovland gets it to Kirkwood, who sends it over on the second volley. Kind of threw off the timing there of the Tigers, and well done, Kirkwood, number 3 there. She is a sophomore only here for the Vikings, I believe. It's hard to keep track of the ages of these students. But yes, Kirkwood is now a sophomore. And Danielson hit it over. Tweeten with a block. Now Tweeten tosses it on the right side. Nicely done there. Kirkwood, Tweeten. Now it's Morgan Korf left side, but too strong from her. And Rothsay, after that long volley, takes another point and sustains this 3-point lead that they've had here. Korf over to Hovland, left side, right hand. Nice second volley, cheeky play of Vanessa Sullivan. Now over to Tweeten. These rallies have been fun. Pelican has gotten back in the game, and they got another one there. 3 in a row for the Vikings, 17 all. And a timeout's going to be called by Rothsay. So nicely done by these Vikings to induce another timeout. And now these Tigers have none the rest of the way. Pelican will still have 2 timeouts for this set. Korf trying to give the Vikings a lead here, something they've barely seen in this set. They've been mostly behind since the early goings. And this one is going to be the point for Pelican Rapids. It was blocked up front, but blocked out of bounds. So kind of a break there for the Vikings. Just really nice play by Rothsay, just a bad bounce. And that time, Morgan Korf pays them back with a short serve into the net, so it locks things back up at 18. This time, Erin Thomas is unable to dig that out, and so nice ace there from Sullivan. She's got 2 aces now on the night. Trying to make it 3 right here. Thomas able to handle that one. Nicely done. Morgan Korf. Now to Eckley. Hovland. Kirkwood trying to set up Ariana Hovland on the left side. Danielson's able to dig that out. Now Sullivan in the middle. Blocked up front by Tweeten. Here we go. Joust match up top. No. Now Hovland, and no. It's going to be a net. Looks like Ari Hovland smacked the net when she tried to hit one over. And that will be a point for Rothsay, 20-18. And another timeout's going to be called, this time by Heidi Eisman and the Pelican Rapids Vikings. All right, Vikings trying to reset the momentum here coming out of the timeout. 2018. They're down by 2. Rothsay looking to even up the sets count. Right now it's just game 2 if you're joining us. Vikings won the first set. Rothsay trying to match. Leininger tries to save it here in the student section. Nice effort from her. but it does go to the right of the wands, so it needed to go in between the wands, the antennas, you could say. I don't know why I said wand, like it's some Harry Potter sorcerer thing. It's just an antenna. The whips, like truck whips. I think I said that last year. They look like truck whips, but they are antennas for determining you have to go in between those with the volley. And nice attack from the Vikings. Ariana Hovland with some gas on that one. And the intended dig goes all the way up to the team poster that is up here in the back of the gym wall at the Leaders Gymnasium. Sullivan tries to set it up. Felt like her timing was off. Just hits it over nonchalantly. That's kind of a meme I'm dragging. If anyone here understands the concept of dragging a meme, then you probably should be at the game because you're probably under 18 and a student at one of these schools. If you're a grandma watching this, I apologize for talking the way that these young children do from time to time. Berger, right side, no. Danielson, there it is. Dug out by the Vikings. The rally continues. Hovland comes through with some sauce. She's got some confidence now. Back-to-back kills for her, getting the Vikings in the mix. She's got 8 kills in this game. And so she's had some confidence as of late now. All smiles here as they try and continue on this run the Vikings have been on. 21-21. Same spot we were in last time. Danielson drops a hammer once again. When she connects, it's almost impossible to stop. Strong right hand from number 9. And once again, Rothsay in control. They have it in their grasp. And this is a huge game, as always. Are you going to go down 2-0? Or are you going to even it up and make it completely unpredictable volleyball? And it's long there from Schustrom. Good look from her, but Ellie Kress all over that one. Foot too long here, right on the lane line of the basketball court. And now it's going to be the second timeout taken by the Vikings, 23-21. They're on the cusp of losing the second set. We'll see what they can do out of the timeout. All right, we are back in crunch time here in the second set of this game. Rothsay on the doorstep of their first set victory. 23-21, they lead. Vikings trying to come back. Tweeten's not going to help the cause. Throws it to the left, out of bounds. And game point for Rothsay. It's Savannah Sullivan, a leading senior who's going to do the duties of serving. Kirkwood over to Hovland. She's had confidence, but it's blocked up front. Oh, never mind. Out of bounds. Yes, it was blocked, emphatically so, but then it was tossed left and out of bounds left. So another Rothsay block that's right on the sideline, and Vikings get the benefit of the bounce. And then they're still with life. 22-24. Can Danielson end it? She goes soft. Kirkwood dives in. Schustrom keeps it alive. Berger cannot get it to go at the net. And that's going to be how this game, or excuse me, this set ends. Rothsay 25, Pelican 22. It is all even at one set apiece. And we're going to go into the third one here. And we'll be back after a few-minute break in Pelican Rapids. All right, if you're just joining us, it is set 3, set away by Malia Tweeten with that serve. Sullivan setting it over, or attacking it over here back to the right. Berger this time able to get it over, and this rally is nice. Shot there, wow, perfect spot. Very back left corner. So point for Rothsay. Coming off of their first set, their set win in the second set. That would be 1-1 now. The set totals are even. We're entering into the third set as there's a miscommunication about where to go. And once again, ball just falls in Pelican territory. 2-0, Rothsay with momentum. Kirkwood sends it over. Hovland now, once again, that confident running left to right, attacking across her body. Look, not before the Tigers here put it in no man's land. And substitution comes in. Hayden Haugrud, the junior for the Vikings, entering in the front line. Ali Berger coming out. Morgan Korf, Cameron Kirkwood back here. Korf in the middle. We'll toss it to the far right. Now Danielson, a little bit off of her rhythm, unable to get a strong attack. Vikings still have an opportunity. Now it is the Vikings trying to get it over, and diving is Tweeten, but no. Looked like really unlucky for the Vikings. This ball came, the set or the dig or something for Rothsay came right over the net, where Hovland felt like she had no choice but to attack right there. It caromed off the net, and Vikings were scrambling to get it over, and they need to stop the bleeding somehow, some way. They're down 5-0 in this third set. Oh, and bad bounce for Rothsay might be what the doctor ordered, as it hits off of the dividing net, or the screen, you could say, that divides this gym into two pieces if necessary. Just what the Vikings needed was some kind of a goofy bounce, maybe get them some momentum. Danielson stops it right away, though. Rothsay firmly in control, 6-1. Kirkwood, Korf. Diving on the floor there was Eckley momentarily. Now it's Schustrom who dives on the floor. And Vikings can't get it to go. And a timeout's going to be called by Eisenman with a little bit of ferocity to the official here, wanting to the Vikings lost a little bit of spunk here in this third game, noticeably so. Few balls due to miscommunication have landed on the hardwood. They're looking to try and right the ship. This has been a very evenly matched game this entire time. Vikings ended up taking the first set in a bit of a win-by-2 scenario, and then it was all 21s in the second game, and Rothsay just squeaked out that one. So Vikings very much talent-wise in this game, it seems like, in the sample of 2, looking to continue going forward. But they need to change something to make things happen. As we wait for some substitutions, Leininger back in for the Tigers. Sullivan to Tweeten now. Pelican gets it back over, setting up Danielson on the right side. No, long. Danielson a little bit too excited on that one. And I can see a bit of a limp in her step now, as I was wondering why she's wearing a compression brace type of thing on her shin, or her calf, I should say, on that left side. Maybe she has been negotiating a bit of an injury, but it doesn't stop her vertical. She really can fly up here in the front net when she's attacking. Nice dig by the Vikings to get it out. Tweeting now, Kirkwood setting up Korf left side, bit of a wild set there, and Kirkwood shows frustration as she aggressively gives Ariana Hovland a low 5, and they look to reset. 8-2, Leininger out now. Larson back in for the Tigers. Her serve with topspin. Nicely done there. Korf able to send it back. Danielson now will just push it here over to the left side. Now Kirkwood, and Kirkwood goes wide left. What a read by Sullivan, just backpedaling right in front of it. Not very often you see them get behind the ball and then let it go, and they do so anyway. So now it is Korf, blocked up front momentarily, but Danielson able to readjust, keeping it the way here of the Vikings. Up in the air, Korf long. Excuse me, that's Hayden Haugrud who went long here. Bryn Larson. Excuse me. Bryn Larson is totally not who this is. This is number 12, Izzy Larson. If there's any Frazee fans watching, that's probably where that name got pulled out of. Bryn Larson, a talented basketball player for the Frazee Hornets for some years. I'm also getting into that age. I feel like I've reached a new level of veteran status here at Channel 2, and I just different names start mixing together. I always never understood why these elderly folk are unable to are always getting these names mixed up. I understand now. It's getting ridiculous, the amount of names that come in and out of this brain. Hovland sending it to the left. Long, floating serve. Knuckleball just enough to rise over to the other line. So even though the Vikings got a point, it didn't last long. Danielson right back with it for the team in yellow. 11-3, firmly in control, trying to keep things moving. Danielson jumps, and another miscommunication, this time between Hovland and Hovland. Hovland able to readjust even after it hit the net from Danielson. And this time Rothsay with a bit of a mix-up there. Both people trying to set. And that one goes long here for Rothsay. Mirren Thomas. The chaos ensues. It continues here. And finally, it's Eckley who cannot get it over the net for the Tigers, and the Vikings able to get another point, and they are moving back into the category that we're looking for, and it's going to be a timeout Rothsay. 12-7 now. Pelican Rapids digging themselves out of this hole momentarily. Horn sounds, we're back in business here. 12-7, Rothsay leads. Vikings have gotten a few points as lately, and so Rothsay called a timeout, trying to stop the bleeding, one might say. But they have some surplus to work with, still up 5, but Pelican got a little bit of spunk back with that little run. Nicely done there by the team in orange, as this game can go. Rallies up, rallies down. Let's see what happens. And that's a nice attack there from the Tigers. Point for them. And Carlsrud going to serve now for the Tigers. Sends it over Korf. Kirkwood. Korf just going to have to get it back over. She does successfully. Trying to set up. Looks like it's going to be Sullivan. And Savannah puts it in a spot where Hovland now, Ari Hovland, puts some mustard on it, and she gets another kill. Nicely done by her. Make that 9 now in the game, as we have been tracking here from the scorers table. Looks like Dave Rund down there on the scoreboard. Been on that as best he can. That was about to be a sneaky little knock over here to the right side, a little misdirection. And did not quite go, caromed out of bounds. And that's the thing with volleyball, those little points like that. Just every point is a 2-point swing in theory, right? If you get that point, it's 14-8. You feel like you're in full control. Now it's just 13-9. Deficit is 4 for the Vikings. Very much in play as the Vikings get another point. And the wheels continue to teeter for the Rothsay Tigers. Now they're the ones that are having a few miscommunications and some frustrations on their side. And this time it's Tweeten who's going to get in trouble with there might have been contact with the hand, and whatever side it was on, looks like it was on the Rothsay side. They're going to get a point here. At least that's what I'm assuming happened. I guess I need to see if you make contact with the net or maybe make contact with another player while they're attacking defensively. Not sure what the complete call was there. Malia Tweeten will get a chance at redemption here with a serve. Danielson digs inside Savannah. Yes, Savannah Sullivan gets that one to go. That makes it 15-10. Rothsay with a lead here in the third set. If you're just joining us, this is a 1-1 game right now, 1-1. And the winner of this here obviously putting themselves in huge upper hand going forward. And what is turning out to be quite a late night in Pelican Rapids on the first school night of the year. Kirkwood sends it over to Berger. Berger, nice attack there from a tough angle. And then Danielson tries to drop the boom, but it is going to be Korf with a nice confident dig. And then some caroming around. Korf digs it again. Now Hovland in the middle, into the lap of Danielson and Sullivan. So Hovland with some strong confidence there. Once again, she's into double digits with her kills. She's been having a great game. And now Kirkwood throws it off the top of the net, and she gets frustrated. So Rothsay lost their momentum, but have stood tall, still have a 17-12 advantage. Sullivan serving. Kirkwood, little no look, second volley. Plenty of time there. Karlsrud, yes, in. Karlsrud tosses it right in on the far right side. This time Kirkwood's in a tough spot as that dig got right up against the net. So Vikings in full frustration now. Down 7. It seems like they've lost that momentum that they had to climb themselves out of this rut. We'll see. Maybe a wayward serve by Sullivan is what the Vikings needed to get back on the scoring column. Korf once again in the lap of the Tigers. Somehow they save it. Wow, what a good effort, but it did end in a Pelican point with Korf. Her resolve, getting things done there, getting the point for the Vikings. Down 5 now. Pelican Rapids, if they're going to make a move, it's got to be right now. They cannot let Rothsay get too deep in the 20s, or it's just going to be too tough to surmount. Danielson in the middle. It's going to be tipped, so it's going to be point Rothsay. Tipped to the line, wayward left. High speed from Danielson. Getting 20 points now are the Tigers, 20-14. Now Tweeten with her dig goes right back over to the Tigers. Maybe they're in position. Sullivan diving was Hovland. Now Schustrom tries to save it. Does, nicely so. And it will be the Tigers who give it away. So good perseverance there from the Vikings. An unorthodox point, but a point nonetheless. Keeps them in business. Down 5. Need to go on a 10-5 run to make something happen. Joust at the front here between Sullivan and Tweeten. Now Korf on the right side. Dug out there nicely by Umlauf. This time Tweeten sends it over in a little bit of a improvised move. And this time Schustrom tries to hit it here, and it gets caught up on her hand and goes into the net. Tweeten left side, no. And those are the types of points here, the last 2 now. Attacks into the net that are going to send the Vikings in really tough waters now, 22-15. Danielson goes long, so she gives one right back. Mirren Thomas comes back in for the Vikings for Schustrom. And off the net there was that attack from Danielson. Carly Hovland able to handle it. Now Korf, her attack gets knocked at the front line. But it goes back and forth. Now Hovland gets it over the middle. Tweeten is just going to underhanded toss it back over the top here. And the Vikings are going to get the point after all. It's all said and done. Getting some applause here from all sides, and an exciting point. Staying alive. Just like that Bee Gees song. And this one's another one for the Vikings, is that Larson set goes into the net. That's going to induce a timeout here from Tanya Court. 22-18, Rothsay with a lead, trying to put a stamp into this third set. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. We are back. Mirren Thomas. Going to send it over here for the Vikings. A little run she's been on. Now Eckley. Really tight angle, and she ended up getting that into her own net. So Vikings get another point. Keeping things interesting. Danielson, dug out by Hovland, setting up Tweeten in the middle, and she puts it in a tough spot, but diving through is the Tigers. They keep it going. Now Korf, she tries to attack aggressively and hits it into the net. Kirkwood, Korf, lays it over here. Rothsay able to adjust, make it happen. Tweeten over the middle. Nice and easy attack here over the middle, and she's able to get it done. Morgan Korf now down 3, only a couple points to give. Nice attack, or nice adjustment by the Tigers to keep that alive. Now it is Hovland who is able to improvise back and send one in a great spot with great speed in her 11th kill of the game. And once again, now I thought this wasn't going to be competitive, but the lead is now just 2 for the Tigers. 23-21. Vikings keep hanging around. Blocked up front by Rothsay. Okay, but then they stick with it. Savannah now blocked up front by Tweeten. And Tweeten shows a little bit of excitement there, and not as excited as Ariana Hovland is for her. But now it's just a 1-point game. And it seems like all the pep is now in the team with orange. We'll see what happens as the Tigers send it over without much of a attack, but then Tweeten hits it into the net. Costly one. Instead of, like we said, 2-point swings, instead of it being tied at 23, just like that, you have Vanessa Sullivan with the opportunity to send this game away. Serve across. Kirkwood. Tweeten running left to right, gets it across. And now Eckley has to take a couple steps back. Diving in was Hovland, a set-saving dive in there. Now it'll press back to Korf. Korf sends it over to Kirkwood. Now Hovland, no, long. And so that's going to be how this third set ends. It looks like Rothsay 2, Pelican Rapids 1. And so we'll have at least one more game here, and Vikings are hoping to send it to 5 now, as they're going to need to, down 2-1. We'll be back after a short break. All right, fourth game is back in action here in Pelican Rapids. If you're just joining us, Rothsay 2 sets, Pelican Rapids 1 set, entering the fourth set of action. Vikings get the first point. Vikings are obviously back up against the wall, need to win this set in order to keep things moving and have a chance to win. It has been the Rothsay Tigers with more experience, more talent, I could say, on the front line. Certainly more height, more athleticism on this front line. Able to get the advantage so far. Vikings with a bit more, I would say, depth in the way that they are fresh more often and have more people that have been playing consistently has been helpful for them. And it's been exciting to watch some new faces kind of take the roles here of what were a couple seniors last year that left, particularly in my head. And I know I never want to be this person to be like, remember the seniors from last year, because what happens is I usually miss one or two and then feel really bad about it later, or I get some comment being like, yo, what about my son or daughter or niece or great nephew? But just two that I can think of, couple college athletes that ended up going here to Valley City. One is Anna Roysum, who ended up going to Valley City to play volleyball. Actually, she was dealing with some injuries, but she was a very tall, very physical presence inside. You also had Grace Backstrom, who is not a volleyball player per se, but she's a Valley City track athlete. Both very tall, very lanky. The other two that I can think of offhand are the Arrow twins, Zaylee Arrow, a couple 6 foot tall athletes for the Vikings that they're replacing. And I'm just taking a moment here to make sure I don't forget too many people. But those are a few of the athletes that the Vikings had, and that just makes me think about the height disparity. When I am way up here in the catwalk, but when I look, I see some height over there on the Rothsay side with Danielson and the Sullivan girls that just is not there for Pelican Rapids up until this date. Regardless, Ariana Hovland, who has some veteran presence here, has some experience playing at the varsity level, has shown up for the Vikings with 11 kills. And we're hoping that she continues to build on it right here, running right to left. She does! Nicely done. Give her 12. And she seems to have a nice knack for finding a hole there when she's on the right side. Usually she's working over to the right and is able to hit across her body in a bit of a no man's land to the left side. Kirkwood. Larson. Berger gets it over. Now Danielson gets it right back. Korf. Kirkwood unable to get it done. Into the net. Point for Rothsay. 3-2. Tweeten will set up Kirkwood, who gives it over to Schustrom. Schustrom tries to scoop it over, and that's off and to the left. Hovland sends it over here. And now Joey Bell, libero, in for the Vikings. I was wondering if the libero was going to make an appearance. She does. That is important to note. I believe she's a sophomore. Yep, sophomore in the back line here. Tries to make the read to say that was out, but it was not. It just snuck inside. Really great placement from Rothsay. 6-3, they now lead. They have a 2-1 set advantage as well, so doubling up the Vikings in more ways than one here, trying to really put their staples into this game. Nobody wants a 5, especially on a Tuesday night. Nobody, including the officials or the play-by-play staff, would want a 5-gamer to go all the way into the wee hours of the night. We would rather, I could see why Rothsay would want to put it a staple in this one right now. Vikings trying to stay resolved, and there's a fight up against the net. Nicely done, Schustrom, to force that across here to a point. Hovland up to Kirkwood, over to Korf, into the net, blocked, but readjusted. Now Berger. Wow, this is a good rally so far. Larson's going to set up over here. That is Karlsrud for the Tigers. Once again, it's going to be now Eakley. Eckley again, here to Korf, Kirkwood, Schustrom, one more time. No one really has the firepower to send one home. I noticed Ariana Hovland is in the back line. She's kind of the go-get-a-kill girl for the Vikings. And then when I think about the Tigers, I see Danielson and Savannah Sullivan in the back line for the Tigers. So it kind of feels like you have a front line right now for both teams that is a little less star-studded than it would otherwise be, which can lead to longer rallies like that. And as I talk there, it looks like a really nice kill from Karlsrud, hitting it across to the left side, finding a nice spot in front of the Pelican Rapids bench. 8-4. Make it 9-4, as that's an ace there from Karlsrud. Looks like they hit the gritty. That's what that is. Okay, I was trying to figure that out for a second. Looks like very nonchalant gritty from the Rothsay staff after that ace from Karlsrud. See if she can get another one. She cannot. It's going to be Hovland setting up Tweeten now from Kirkwood's set. And nice kill from Tweeten. Well done there. And so substitutions will come in, and Mirren Thomas will walk back. And that one is long there from the Tigers. So another win from Pelican Rapids. And now they just have a 3-point deficit. 9-6, Rothsay with the lead. Mirren Thomas and the Vikings digging into that momentarily. Larson sends it over, but out of bounds, far right. And that's going to induce a timeout from the Tigers as the Rothsay was up 8-4, and the Vikings now have gone on a 3-1 run. Nice little mini bolt to get things back in the mix here. 9-7. Rothsay, 2-point advantage, 1 set lead for Rothsay. They're up 2-1. We are in set number 4 on what is the opening, the opening night here for Channel 2 in the Leaders Gymnasium, the volleyball team. Getting things started. It's a busy week in activities here in Pelican Rapids. Right now happening was a girls varsity soccer game. I have a feeling that's done by now. That was started at 6 p.m. They hosted St. John's Prep. And then later on this week, there was cross country is going to go to Barnesville, but in Pelican as well, the Vikings are going to have a boys soccer game on Thursday. That should be a good one. And then Friday night, the football team, I believe, is on the road, and we'll double check that for now. Hovland, Kirkwood, Korf, far left side, right hand. I swear she was so close to hitting that antenna. She barely misses it and evens the scores now at 9. The Vikings are on a roll, get themselves right back to even. 9-9 our score. Hovland dives, Tweeten saves, out of bounds. Almost looked like Tweeten was able to sneak it in the left side, but instead it'll be Rothsay now getting back-to-back points. Korf sending it over here. Danielson in. Nice attack there from Danielson. Couple gasps there as that was right on the line here on the near side. Hovland. Ari Hovland with an attack there, blocked up front and sent back this way. Now it's Carly Hovland will push it back into the back middle. Danielson right side. Tried to save it was Thomas, but it does hit the deck. Rothsay gets another point, 13-10. Tweeten sends it over here. That is a sky-high Sullivan sending it home. Very nice athletic play on this left side from Sullivan. She'll have the serving duties now, 14-11. Vikings trailing on their last game here if they do not get a win. Nice play, Berger, right away, getting it over the net. Nice off-time play from Allie Berger, getting a point for the Vikings. Kirkwood. Now Tweeten. Setting up Ari Hovland. It goes right into the lap here of the Tigers. So nicely done, Ari Hovland. Her attack is good to go. Danielson. Diving Korf, getting it to keeping it alive. Now Schustrom able to attack it over here. Kirkwood, back set. Schustrom again. This time dug out by Sullivan. Sullivan will save it. Now Kirkwood digs it out. Korf sets it. Tweeten pushes it, gets it over barely, and the rally continues. Exciting one from and finally Sullivan tosses it into the net. A nice strong attack, but hits the net, falls down. Tie game, 14-14. Once again, stays tight. Danielson. Long, no. Point Pelican. They got a lead now in this fourth set. First lead of the set. 15-14. Vikings once again confidence, and this could be that depth of bench one more time, maybe allowing them to get into a long game like this. This has kind of been a marathon here. Rothsay has been relying on the same girls over and over again. Vikings have spread the love a little bit more. Maybe this might play a factor here as we get into late goings. Danielson, once again, she's been the go-to girl, and this time she's able to, not very emphatically, but very craftily, toss that down on the near left side, although she is hobbling more noticeably now than she was as she now stretches that calf. Seems like she's maybe working through a cramp or just, probably not, considering she has the sleeve. Maybe she's been dealing with some issues. She's still managing it. This bounces all over the place, finally falls. Plenty of time. What a save there from Umlauf. Very nicely done, and Rothsay's going to get the point. The crowd goes crazy on the Rothsay side as the ball bounces around in the rafters. I thought the ball was about to stay in the rafters there momentarily, but it finally did come down, and Umlauf sent it over, and what was a big heave. This time Hovland sends it over on a tough angle, and it's out of bounds. So back and forth they go now. Rothsay back with the advantage, and the Vikings are going to call a timeout. Rothsay 17, Pelican 16. Rothsay 2, Pelican 1 in the sets. Game 4, see how it ends. Pelican needs a victory to send it to Game 5. All right, Game 4. Larson serving for the Tigers. From left to right, sending it to, it was Tweeten and Korf who were not on the same page there, and it hits the deck. Kirkwood, Berger, now Berger strong. Kirkwood, Hovland now this time. Sullivan set up on this other side. She goes strong, so there that gets Pelican Rapids back on the board. And now a serve goes into the net here from Hovland. Danielson, one of those go-to girls for Rothsay, trying to lock this away in critical hour. 2017, Rothsay 5 points away from locking up this match. Hovland, left side, Korf, nice play, Morgan Korf, veteran move, tossing it in no man's land. Rally continues. Ari Hovland setting up Kirkwood now. She tosses it left. No. 21-18 now. Rothsay getting closer. Tweeten. Over here now, Sullivan. Shoestrom, too strong. And the Rothsay crowd erupts, feeling like things are getting closer to potentially a Pelican Rapids defeat here. We'll see. They continue to push the pace. Vikings need to right the ship right now. Korf. Eisman still has a timeout. I have a feeling if they give up a point here that might be used right now if Rothsay's able to secure this point. Danielson, tough spot. Vikings scrambling. Kirkwood. Can the Vikings pull a rabbit out of their hat? Sullivan blocked up front by either Shoestrom or Tweeten, and then, it goes into the net, and there's miscommunication. And 23-18, Pelican Rapids will take that timeout. They're down 5. They need something to happen immediately. And we'll see what happens here. Rothsay on the doorstep of getting a victory here. (23-18). Just like Monsters Inc., 23-18. And let's see if Hovland can right the ship. Nice attack from her, but Rothsay is staying strong on the front line. Korf this time here. Arcs one over. Sullivan in the middle trying to attack and into the lap of Tweeten. Point Rothsay. Make it set and game point now in the hands of Grace Karlsrud. Sends it over. Carly Kirkwood. No, and that's going to be how this game ends here. Rothsay 3, Pelican Rapids 1. Vikings fall to 1-2 on the season, and their next game is going to be at Frazee on Thursday. The next time we will see Pelican Rapids in action here at the Leaders Gymnasium is going to be Thursday, September 11th, when they host Dilworth Glendon Felton. For all of us here at Channel 2, Ebe Sarge, Jaden Peterson, I'm Logan Orr. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.